Hi YouTube. So I wanted to do a video basically talking about some newborn essentials. These are things that are really useful when you have a newborn at home, and they can also be used, in the future. I was really on a budget. I didn't go all crazy like buying just about everything. I went to different sites. I went to different blogs and stuff, and kind of saw things that were really necessities, not so much, oh, I'm having a baby, I'm excited. So these things have been really useful, like for um, everyday, for everyday stuff for him. So let's get started. One of the first things that I've been using a lot is this lightweight blankets. These are really excellent. Like when I go to pick him up from his crib or when he wakes up, I either put this on my shoulder and put him on, or sometimes when he's finished, feeding, I just put this and burp him on my shoulder. And then if he throws up or something, then I have this. These are really lightweight, and I also use it to wipe his mouth, like if he has leaks, like from milk. I haven't used bibs a lot, so I've been kind of using these more. And he's having a lot of spit ups, like he's constantly, as he's drinking his milk, some will leak. So these have been really useful. So I would recommend a lightweight blanket that just works for different things. The next one is also another blanket, but this is more absorbable, and this is way more. It costs a little bit more, and it was actually given to me by boyfriend's friend. These are really, really awesome blankets because they absorb a lot. And on top of that, they are also perfect for swaddling. You need some kind of a swaddling blanket because when the baby's fussy and they're crying a lot, you need to wrap them up, and just get them, to make them feel warmth, because they want to feel like they're in the womb. And that's one of the tricks to getting them to relax and fall asleep. So that's been helping me a lot with swaddling. Also for wiping milk, if something leaks, or just when I pick him up and I put this on my shoulder as well. So these are kind of like this is my go-to. I put this in my diaper bag everywhere I go. Like it has helped me a lot. And sometimes if I don't have wipes nearby, like if something pours, and then I just go ahead and wipe with this. And yeah, so that's been useful. Another useful thing was that one of these pillows, I think they call them a boppy, but this was a cheap one from Marshall's because I was on a budget. And this was useful when I was pregnant because I would put this to support my back sometimes. I also used this when I started breastfeeding a little bit for a little while, and breastfeeding did not work out for me, so I just kind of stopped. But this was useful for breastfeeding also. I use it now just to lay on, but it's a good, something I would recommend. I think there's a one called Breast Self. This one works really well for people that are breastfeeding. It's excellent because I felt like my baby was doing well with it when we tried it in the hospital, but I didn't buy that one. So I would recommend one of these pillows for sure. The next thing is a diaper bag. I know, yeah, diaper bags are obvious, but you really need a diaper bag that can be easily washed. A diaper bag that you don't care too much about because this is thrown all over the place. It's gone to the hospital, it's thrown on the floor. It's just not something we care too much about, but it holds everything that we need. So yeah, this was given to a gift to me by sister-in-law. So yeah, this has been really, really useful. We put everything in here, like it fits everything, and it's not too big. I could throw this in a stroller easily and move on. So yeah, you need a good diaper bag, not something fancy, but something that's functional. Fancy maybe you could do later on when the baby's older, but right now it's working. Another thing is the snot sucker, I think they call it, but really it's just basically to remove things when you see like boogers in the nose. Because baby newborns, for some reason, they have that. Even kids, when they're older, they do have this. So I've been using this whenever I see stuff in his nose and I'm just disgusted. Like I'm holding it, I'm like, oh, he has boogers. So, and this doesn't affect him. Like I put it in and he's basically like relaxed, and we take care of that. Some stuff you can't get out because it's too, deep in there, but most of the time I just use this for things that are obvious, like just hanging out, like boogers or just TMI. But yeah, this is very useful. I think there's a nose frida that a lot of people recommend. This one has been really, really useful. Okay, the next thing that I really, really we use a lot is this support pillow, basically for the car seat. Before we had the car seat, we kind of put the baby and we noticed that his neck was not supported as well. So you do need one of these, like whatever you like, but basically some kind of a support that when he's sitting, his neck, his sides, everything is supported, because when we didn't do that, my mom was like, oh my gosh, you have the baby without some kind of a support, like cushioning in the car seat. So we basically brought this back because it's been really awesome for us. This one came with a bag, and this is basically like a I want to say it's changing pad that's portable. It was because sometimes when, for example, he has appointments and we are waiting and we have to go to use the restrooms there, or you went somewhere and you want to change him because he's been like peeing a lot everywhere. Like sometimes I'm changing and the pee goes everywhere. So whenever I remember, I always make sure to have this and put it before I change the baby, so that he pees on this instead of having emergencies over someone's couch or something. I make sure to put this, but sometimes, some days I do forget and he ends up peeing, on our bed and stuff. That's just something that happens with a lot of boys. So we've just been peed on, he peed on the face. Like, it's just been terrible. Like, but when I remember, I always make sure to put this pad, this little changing thing. I didn't buy a changing station or a changing whatever, but this is what I've been using. Okay, the next thing is mittens. The first few months you're gonna need mittens because the baby, like especially my son, like he keeps moving. He moves so much and kicking and doing all this stuff, and he ends up just going, all over his eye, like just scratching, and really this has helped to keep him from kind of doing those, like him scratching where it turns red, or poking his eyeball out, or something like that. So mittens are really, really helpful, and definitely get a few different sizes because we bought the newborn ones and we ended up going to a 0 to 3. Then 0 to 3 was too small. We kind of went to 3 to 6. So keep a few of them that are different sizes because we learned that the hard way. Okay, the next thing is a really, really good blanket. This was given to me also as a gift, and this is both sides. One side is kind of softer, and one side is this. I forgot this fabric, what it's called. You need a good size where you can also swaddle him in, um, and it's easy for you to carry him with. So when it gets cold, we use this. When it's warm, we kind of don't use it. We use the other ones. So basically, you need a good blanket like that's lighter weight and also can allow you to wrap him in, or wrap her, or yeah, wrap them in. And kind of, when I'm dancing with him, sometimes this is what I use. So it's not too thick and bulky and all that. It's just perfect. So yeah. Okay. This one is a necessity, and for people that are breastfeeding, maybe you guys don't need this. I don't know, but for me, pacifiers have saved my life. My son is really cranky. He's basically not sleeping well through the night, which is usual, I guess, for newborns. Gosh, this light is so bright. Anyway, for newborns, but this has helped a great deal. Pacifiers are not the best things, and some pediatricians don't even recommend them. But for us, for the times when he's really fussy and he's crying for no reason, like we fed him, changed him, and he's being fussy, we put this. We give him a pacifier and I rock him, and sometimes it helps him, fall asleep. Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes we just have to, thug it out, like just try everything else. But pacifiers have been a relief for us. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to give him, he's not getting milk anymore. He's not gonna get breastfed. I mean breastfed. What am I thinking about? Formula. We have to limit how much we give him formula. So sometimes, hey, he's crying and he's just being fussy, and a pacifier helps. So yeah, good ones. And the last thing is a good bottle. I remember when I was pregnant, I ended up buying all these cheap bottles that were like 3 and pack, and I think it was from Playtex. The bottles were okay, but when he turned 1, all of a sudden we noticed like the bottles were not good, because he kept kind of fighting, like as we were trying to feed him, he was doing one of these constantly. And when the bottle was in his mouth, he was still kind of moving so much that it looked like he wasn't really comfortable as we are feeding him. So over time, my mom was like, maybe you guys need a longer nipple. So we were like, okay, we're gonna just change the nipples and keep the bottles. But we did that, and we still noticed that he was kind of doing the same thing. I heard good things about Dr. Brown's bottles, and we were walking through Walmart, and we tried one. And I want to say that this bottle is really awesome. I really, really like it because when I'm feeding him, I could see like he's more relaxed. The gas is not as much, like the farting goes down, and it just feels better when you're holding it. Like there's just something about it that just it feels good, and you can feel that he's really relaxed as he's drinking. While the other bottles, he was constantly just doing a lot of stuff, and he would kind of have it, the nipple would be in his mouth and he would slide constantly, just go on one side. So he just was not relaxed as I'm feeding him. So when we got this bottle, we noticed a big, big difference. So I would recommend a really good bottle. And even if it means spending a little more, this was like $8 compared to the other ones that were like $4. I would really definitely recommend one of these for sure, guys. Get a good bottle. Um, the next thing I forgot that I don't have a picture of because he's in the other room was basically a portable sleep thing, or is it a sleep thing? Kind of like a sleeping. Well, you guys know what I mean. Basically, it's something that you can take with you everywhere, that you can use for a baby to sleep in. For example, you went to visit friends or family, and they don't have a place where you can put the baby, you can basically find one of those that you can unfold and just put something cushion, like maybe a good thick blanket, and lay him on there. Because if you don't have those, you can kind of find yourself putting a baby to sleep on a couch, which I we do, but it's just it would be nice to just to have something that you can, a portable sleep system, that's something that you can carry with you on the go, that you can use everywhere, and that fits easily in the car or whatever, so you don't have to be carrying like a big, because right now we have the Graco Park and Play Pack and Play, and that's too big still. We couldn't carry that, and besides, he's growing out of the top one, so we can't really use that. But we have this one that we have that's a portable one that's lightweight. You can easily wash it, and we can carry it anytime we go visit family and friends and use that. So guys, this was just basically my top essentials for a newborn. I'm definitely missing out some of the stuff, but if it comes up, maybe I'll do another video. I don't know. But right now, the baby is almost 2 months, so yeah, these are things that we've really used a lot. And I just, you guys can recommend also below like some of the things that you feel are really essentials that worked for you. And maybe I'll see if it's something that we can add on. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.